This is it, folks. No more putting around. We're going for an actual drive on this thing. The bike I've so lovingly named the Nighthawk. What a difference. Front tire and a set of head bearings. Look at this. It handles again. It's a motorcycle again. It's not just a wobbly tank. If I can get to a point where I can learn to trust this engine, we'll be all set. I can see myself having to replace the little fuse box under here, or at least open it up to see what the issue is. It's hard to get the fuses to make good contact in it. It's usually obvious that it's happening whenever I go to take off with it and I have no headlight. Yeah, I can't get over this front end now. We've got a tire. We've got slightly better suspension with those preload spacers in there. We've got a new master cylinder reservoir here that looks better and doesn't really leak, but we still got pretty poor brakes. I think this thing is going to need some things replaced and some major upgrades, so if we want to get away from that. These are very much 1982 brakes, no matter how many new pads and new fluid you put through them. We won't jump on the highway just yet. We'll stick to side roads for now. I'm not getting the squeaking from the front end either now, since I knew I was not going to be taking this front end apart again right away, so I did a better job putting it back together, let's say. Look at this, it tips in to turn at an intersection. Last time I was out, it was really fighting you on that. I think I'm hearing a little bit of popping and stuff like that out of the exhaust, but maybe an issue with the air cut valves. It might also be just the fact that these pipes don't seal at all. They don't seal very well at the head. There isn't really a tight seal where the headers meet the tailpipes. So there's a lot of air being introduced in there, so any residual fuel being blown out is just going to pop and ignite in there. Honestly, I don't care. As long as it runs, pulls me around, and most importantly, takes me home. This thing is heavy, and I really don't want to load it on a truck to take it home. So far, though, it's been pretty good. It's just that I've had my hands all over so much of this bike. I mean, I had the engine apart. I had the carbs in about 1,000 pieces. And I mean, my carb experience is pretty slim. I mean, I mess around with my dirt bike carb, and that's about it. So to split up a bank of 4 and rebuild them. Ooh, there's a test for the front. No real bottoming out. That's pretty good. So yeah, to get that deep into a bank of carbs is kind of a big deal for me. This road through the industrial park's kind of bumpy. Give it a little shake. If anything's going to screw up, it's going to be over bumps and things, hopefully. Getting brave. I think we might just ride this damn thing into town. The popping in the pipe sounds so strange. It's mostly all on deceleration. I am getting a little bit of a squeaky squeak from the front end. Goes away when I'm on the brakes, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was. Front wheel turns a lot freer. The bike actually tracks straight. Look at that. I take my hands off the bars before and it was heading for the ditch immediately. Well, I guess this is it. We're heading into town. You know what? Maybe even a quick little blast up the highway. We'll get real cocky. I mean, if it can do 70 or 80, it can obviously do 100 to 105, right? Right? We'll find out. Here we go. I like the way it's handling these bumps, though. It's doing a pretty good job. I guess that's it. 5-speed. Gotta get used to that again. Look at that. Highway speeds. I don't think anything's flying apart so far. What's strange is the feeling of driving in this bike isn't coming back to me. Like, I'm not having any flashbacks of when I used to ride and when I learned to ride when I was a teenager. I guess it was such a small drop in my bucket of, you know, years and kilometers ridden. Oh, look at that. This first little blast up the highway, I'd say it was a success. We're now deeper into town. So far, so good. It's tough not to get that RPM to hang. You really gotta crank the idle way down low, because as the bike gets hotter, it wants to do that more and more. It's pretty crazy. Years and years and years ago, my father used to go to school here. He traveled from home to here to go to school, and this is what he was using. So it's been many years since this bike ran around this town. Well, I'd say that was a success so far. It got me into town and almost home. Hopefully by the end of this I'll make it home. So this was so far a successful first flight of the Shithawk. Hopefully we can keep that going. I'd like to turn this into a kind of an around town cruiser at first, and maybe later on, once I can trust it a little more, we can start doing some longer trips on it too, because it is a pretty comfortable bike. Lots of popping and banging out these pipes. It's kind of to be expected though. They're damn near straight pipes. Not much of a baffle to speak of in there. So yeah, thanks for joining in on the first official flight. Hopefully you'll come back and check out some more of them.